All right, we are live, and we have 3 ongoing tornado warnings. One is a confirmed tornado warning with the observe tag. That one may get canceled out soon here because that was originally in the ground. All right, they did update the tornado warning just now, as you just saw. They did tornado warn an area here over near Summit that was rotating. May still have an area here that's still rotating now, so they may issue a new tornado warning soon here. We also have a tornado warning over here in Iowa as well. We also, you can see, there is a tornado watch between basically the same areas that we saw yesterday across Iowa, Minnesota, and also Wisconsin. With that 5% area, we may see eventually a tornado watch extension since we have a 5% that goes out towards here, probably later this evening. Depending on what we're going to be seeing with the storm mode. So far, a lot of the areas that we've been seeing have been kind of embedded within this line here. We don't have the best view on some of these between these radars here, but we kind of get an idea where the rotation is on this one, with being somewhere near north of Clear Lake. Also, welcome, Party Cheese. Welcome to the stream. So it sounds like, because I have Stormward Media stream up on the side, sounds like the Ficarone? The microphone, if I could speak English, kind of broke, it sounds like. Or, something went, broken. At least sounds like it. I have new severe this morning, to the east of this here. Tornado pause tag with 60-mile-per-hour winds. Also as of 2 minutes ago on this one, I think that, yeah, this is the one that they kept observed. Or for anything between Hayward and Albert, which was between here and then moved off towards the northeast. Go back a little bit here. And looking at the CC now, not really seeing a whole lot. Unless we have a tiny area near Moscow, but even that is not, I don't think that's really where that tornado is going to be at. But it would be rotation back up in there. That more than likely broadened out at this point. Here are a lot of severe storm warnings and stuff out over here too. I got a couple over here in Ohio, and then we have more that's stemming down all the way here into Iowa, which we also got a tornado threat down here. Mainly wind and tornadoes are be the concerns for today too. No, they're gonna have a tornado warning here. We'll see what they do with this tornado warning probably within the next 10 minutes or so, because it's still observed. Also, I have no idea. I was gonna say, I think my mic's working too. Yeah, my mic is working. Okay, cool. Sorry, I have to keep extended heat advisory. I mean, it's been pretty warm nowadays. These past couple of days. I said, whatever. So I think what my weather station? Sheesh, almost 95 where I'm at. Jesus. Got to that point the other day too. with the heat. I would not be surprised if I get a heat advisory over here again. They canceled it out the other day when we started getting rain, but where is non-precip on here? Heat advisory. Okay, so there's the heat advisories, and then I don't know if they have any heat extreme warnings going on. And I don't know how many of the heat advisories are going to be missing because sometimes, for some reason, Radar Omega has a really weird issue where sometimes half the like watches and large stuff don't pop up for like forever, and then it randomly pops up later. Mine's until Friday 8 p.m. till now. Man, that's gonna be basically full. Well, maybe a little over 24 hours probably with that advisory. Also, I was gonna say too, there was a couple cells earlier that I was looking at. I think it was like, yeah, there we go. So it was around, what time is this on radar? Like 1:35 on radar, Central Time. And I saw these three cells. These were the ones that popped up. I'm like, yeah, these might end up being the concerns for discrete cells. But then this one in particular, as it went towards the northeast, fizzled out. This one though is going through a merger. Same with the one over here. And we have a couple more starting to pop up just the west northwest as well. So this 20 warning still hasn't been canceled out. Also, we have another situation like yesterday where we have a low precip cell again, which is possible because we did have that happen yesterday. Also, looking at the spectrum width, that would be where we had that rotation from earlier lining up with the tornado port there, and then that continuing towards the northeast. I think that's one thing I'm gonna be starting using more too is high res spectrum width because sometimes they'll help when it comes to areas of rotation and whatnot. Holy dings! I just heard from WeatherWise. Alright, this tornado warning is back to radar in case, so we no longer have a confirmed tornado, but they are still keeping that tornado warning still going, it looks like. Even though, like, half the area that was originally tornado warned is moving out of the area at this point. Also, I just saw something from, apparently, because YouTube's making more changes to their I guess I want to say guidelines, but I guess. I don't know if it's guidelines or community guidelines type of thing. I don't know what to call it. YouTube is increasing the minimum age required to live stream from 13 to 16. Users 13 to 15 may only appear on streams with a visible adult. Otherwise, live chat may be disabled. Also, earlier today, too, there was a fireball that landed over in South Carolina earlier today. Or was it? Or was it North Carolina? No, it's North Carolina. So it's like the North Carolina Virginia border where it landed. Trying to figure out where specifically. I think I saw it earlier, but let's see. I might have saw it from earlier. Let's see. Although there was a couple videos from South Carolina too, so there's that. Also, another thing too, where we have all these showers and storms starting to pop up. This is where the open warm sector is as well. Meaning the storms are gonna be able to take advantage of that moisture in the atmosphere. And also, there's I mean, the wind shear is not super high yet, but there's at least some wind shear. How about the? Let me look at the helicity. I mean, there's some spin in there too. I would expect that to go up as we go into this afternoon, though. We got 11 minutes on that, 26 on that. And this is like once again the first tornado report of the day too. So one tornado so far today. Still gonna be watching this more discrete cells through today because those are definitely gonna have a chance, more of a bigger chance, or at least greater chance to produce something later this afternoon. Although we are quickly seeing a line of storms back out to the west, so we'll see how that factors into the tornado threat as well. And this would also be where the wind threat is going to be coming from too. Also, how is everyone doing this afternoon, early afternoon? Also, with that severe thunderstorm over in Iowa too. They did put a on the graphic for that. With a couple tornadoes being possible down here. Isolated hail up to core size and scare gusts up to 7-mile-per-hour winds possible. And we are down to having one ongoing tornado warning at the moment, which is over in Iowa. That area slowly but surely is going to make its way northeast into Minnesota. Probably within the next, I would say, probably hour to half hour, once that does make its way out to the this area here, as once again making its way northeast. I do wonder if Iowa has any traffic cameras that are live. Let's see. Oh, I sure was a map for this. Let's see. Is there not cameras? I know there is. All right, let's see. So the nearest some of these cameras are at, where's Amos? Let me get that out of here. We got Waterloo, which is right there. So we go from Waterloo. There's one in Cleves, but that camera does not seem to be working. What about the others? Do we have any cameras in Iowa that are like live traffic cameras? Apparently, well, I guess the actual site for Iowa's DOT has live cameras. Although it's like in a weird like spot. What road is that? So, what is this? Raining where that's at, apparently. That might be where the storms are at on that one. I need one on Highway 20. Keeping my eye on the area right here near Dodge Center. I'd say I gotta try to find something here. West I-30 and 580th Avenue. Where is that at? It shows the like Ames, Boone, Nevada area, and it shows like a dark area in the back. That might be near Boone, I think. Boone, Iowa. And then Ames is right here, and Nevada, Iowa is right here. So we got. Wonder if that camera is in Nevada, Iowa. It might be. NVTV. Yeah, okay, that actually might be. Yeah, that might be a camera over in Nevada, Iowa. Let me get that up real quick. If I can find the thing. Actually, I could just do. Where's browser source? That'll work, maybe? Yeah, that works. Okay. So here is one of the cameras over in Iowa. This is West I-30 on 580th Avenue, which is, I'm pretty sure, in Nevada, Iowa, pointing at the storms. There is also an outflow right here that just shot out of this, so could expect some gusty winds out of that. Man, there's quite a few cameras that are just down. Dubuque. Because right now, just trying to find at least some type of camera here. Clear Lake. Let me see where that's at. I'm guessing Clear Lake, Iowa. Clear Lake, Iowa looks like it could get another couple rounds of storms as we got more starting to pop up to the southwest here. So it could have a few more rounds of storms going through. Which the main hazards would be wind. I mean, there is a low tornado threat out here, but again, main threat would be just wind out of any of those cells. If any of those do end up being severe. And we no longer have a tornado warning in place. But there is still a tornado watch, however, all the way up here. Although, I don't know if Clear Lake is between both the tornado watch and the severe tornado watch. Hold on, let's just say try and see if I can turn off some of the alerts here. Get an idea. But, yeah, it looks like, I mean, tornado watch is out here, then you got severe tornado watch there. And we're back to having a tornado warning. Okay. And that is going to be in Minnesota. That is going to be for Brownsdale, Sargent, Vernon, Hayfield, Rockdale, and Stewartville. To see where Brownsdale. So, yeah, that would be where that rotation would be right there. We are kind of far. I mean, we're both in between radars, but also kind of far from radars at the same time. To kind of see that. But I mean, we can get an idea if we look at storm relative, which, yeah, that'd be right in there. Although, how far back is... Not super far back, only a couple minutes behind on scans with the velocity. There's a little area here between Lansing and Brownsdale that's rotating. And there was an area here over near Dodge Center that I was looking at. I think it was, yeah, I was right in there. That I was looking at. It still looks to be more outflow dominant at the moment, unless it ends up tightening up more as it goes along. Which, I mean, that is a possibility, but whether or not it will do that will have to be seen. And this is once again, this is quickly becoming just a whole line of storm. So at least on this side here, if this condenses into a full line, we may have the case where we have embedded tornadoes within a line compared to having discrete cells. We do have more cells actually starting to pop up over on this side here of Wisconsin. I mean, there's a couple in the area where we have that tornado watch, but other than that, more starting to pop over here where we also have that 5% at as well. We also do have another mesoscale discussion, which is basically Western Oklahoma. We'll go over to that mesoscale discussion real quick. So here's the mesoscale discussion. That's gonna be once again Western Oklahoma, and well, Central and Western Oklahoma, and there's some storms that look like they could be a strong to severe wind possible this afternoon. There's a low watch probability, so they might not issue the watch because most of those cells that if they do end up producing those strong winds are probably gonna be isolated in nature compared to something like this, where we're seeing these lines of storms starting to condense here and merge together. I am gonna need to get a water bottle in a second too. Also, if I go back a little bit too, one thing I did notice earlier, there it looked like there was a tiny area that was rotating just southwest of Rose Creek, which looks like it broadened out. We have another severe thunderstorm warning, and that is gonna be for 60-mile-per-hour winds. We have another outflow boundary. I think this is actually the one I was looking at earlier with that outflow right along here, and that is a big that's quite a long outflow. I think it actually goes down to here actually too, which may initiate more storms alongside that too. Yeah, because if go back a little bit, that just initiated this little like shower, and then it merged with all of this right there, as you can kind of see. That pocket of strong wind right there. Hold on, let me go to the storm relative real quick. Could have an area that could be rotating in there, but that just looks like just a pocket of strong winds. But that definitely looks like at least an area there that could be trying to do something in there when it comes to rotation. Got more severe dust warnings starting to pop up. Also, this severe dust watch over here popped up a little bit ago too, which, if we take a look at probabilities, I mean, there's not really a tornado threat out here, but more or less wind and hail threat out here. Because I think there is a 5% out here, if I remember correctly, when it comes to the hail threat. Actually, the hail threat's just to the southwest of that. But there is a wind threat, though, out of all that. Part of that, once again, is going to be focused in basically the same areas that we've seen basically yesterday, too. Although whether or not we see a local tornado outbreak like what we saw yesterday, that'll once again remains to be seen. But as we go through this afternoon, wind shear should increase a bit. I mean, looking at the bulk shear, which, I mean, the valleys are up there, definitely enough for tornadic development and also storm development as well. Looking at the storm relative helicity, there's not a ton of it, but still enough. I mean, looking at the effective, there's a 200 that's behind this line, and then there's a 100 behind the line with the surface of 500 meters, and then surface to 1 kilometer, and I mean, there's a bit of spin there too. Which this is, where is, did I close the cell? I think I might have. Yeah, I did. Yeah, there's an area behind that's kind of spinning behind this, so that's giving the storm some spin alongside it. Let me go to Twin Cities radar real quick. Yeah, there we go. That's a little bit better of view here. Which may have yeah, there's an area that's tornado warning right now, and then this could be the area that we're gonna be watching for. Maybe have an area here near Kazan and Bryan that looks like could be a concern for rotation, but still mainly outflow at the moment. And then let me circle that real quick. That's more than like if that is trying to rotate, that's gonna be immediately merged into this line of storms. Also, another thing too, when it comes to the more discrete cells, if you have way too many mergers, then it's gonna struggle to develop a tornado threat. I mean, you can still have a wind and a hail threat out of it, but the tornado threat's gotta dwindle on that specific cell if that is the case. And there's definitely some outflow boundaries that are shooting out of these as well, like that right there. We've got another one right here. Might have one right here, potentially. Alright, they did issue a tornado warning now. And yeah, that's gonna be the area right in there. Although there is an area near Rochester too that looks concerning too. Okay, or was that, wait, what does that say? Mantorville? Which is right, yeah, right in there. So that is where that rotation is, right in there. So what the areas that include with this tornado, we got tornado warning: Kazan, Bryan, Rochester, Douglas, Roanoke, Potsdam, and Chester in Minnesota. That's also going to be the second tornado warning ongoing in Minnesota as well. And I think we got a second. I think I saw this one earlier. Yeah, I saw that one earlier with that big old outflow boundary on that. Also, that camera at the bottom right, it's starting to, you can kind of see the rain starting to pick up a little bit with those storms approaching that camera there. Also, this is starting to merge with the line of storms here. So watching the area right over here near Rochester, because that looks like we may have a tiny area that's rotating there. So we got one, two, maybe three in there that are rotating, and then got this area over here near Greenwood, which that might be just side lobe contamination because you got this clear slot between it. Actually, now that I'm looking at this with west of Hillsborough, that actually may be rotation. It's just in a low precip area with some of that. That'd be a weird area of rotation though, if that is the case. But we'll see what happens for the next few minutes, because that is, I mean, it's getting its act together if that is rotation. Could be a tight area rotation too. We don't exactly have anybody in this area either. I don't think at least that can see that. Oh. Also, if we take a look because I haven't looked at this, I usually don't look at this, but you can take a look at the temperatures and kind of get an idea where your warm front would be too, because this would be like roughly right here would be right where your warm front would be. So right, once again, right along that warm front would be where your tornado threat would be, and also how you kind of identify where that warm front would be too. You have your way colder temperatures up here compared to down here. Also, I'm kind of curious, what kind of temperature we got? 90s down here in Illinois, and then we got more 90s over here in Iowa. Looks like temperatures are falling behind, falling down on the northwest side here. The that would be where at least where the cold air mass of the low would be. Yo, what's up, SBC Centerville? Bro, they predicted today's high in Centerville be 100 degrees around this hour. I think right now it's 86. I said where I'm at, it's way warmer than that. Actually, what is just out of curiosity? I don't know if there's gonna be anything on METAR data that'll show what the relative area, relative temperature would be in that area. But looking at the stations around it, it looks like this was over 25 minutes ago, so probably at least 90 degrees. Wouldn't be surprised though if the heat index though is at least 100 or more. I had to just say, all right. So they released a day 3 apparently, and I don't know if they like changed where the day 3 is at, or that was where I was at beforehand. Hold on, let me see. Day 1. Where's the other day 3? No, it's basically the same place it was earlier, but they expanded it a little bit. Well, we gotta check that out soon. Just kind of see where it's at. I indeed do. I do I do remember you from yesterday. Got nasty here last night. I was gonna say I remember seeing a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings make its way down there from that MCS from last night. I'm like, yeah, it's gonna get windy down there in Georgia and even South Carolina. I think we saw it during the stream, but after the stream, many hours after, I'm like, yeah, it's definitely gonna get windy down there with this MCS. I'm kind of curious to see if that's fully updated on the site with that day 3. Large scale mid upper flow. Forecast to Friday and Saturday. Modest westerlies being generally zonal, confined to northern tier of the U.S. Notable shortwave trough. Forecast to progress east of Great Lakes, New England, Saturday night. Bedded smaller scale. Let's see. Moderate strong potential instability with daytime heating. Seasonally moist boundary air may become characterized. Oh, seasonally moist boundary air may become characterized by moderate strong instability with daytime heating. So it's gonna be. It's gonna be. It's gonna be moist. It looks like Friday. Is that Friday or Saturday? No, it's Saturday. So Saturday could be another day of wind threat as well. Where is this? Rip to the 3 people that died in North Dakota. Yeah, oh yeah, there was yeah. I was like, oh man, that's where's that for Friday? Let me actually show you guys that. Hold on. So here is even an Outlook updated up in here. Okay, I was about to say sometimes it takes forever for the Outlook to update on here. So the slight risk is up here between Nebraska, South Dakota, a little bit of North Dakota, but mainly South Dakota, Nebraska, Iowa, and Minnesota again. There's one of my friends just lied to me, saying there's a large wedge finally long track tornado in Minnesota at the pre-ball we saw yesterday. Yeah, there is definitely not that. I don't think. I know there was at least a strong tornado that we saw yesterday on radar. But nothing of that nature with whatever your friend was saying. Because if we saw that with that case on radar yesterday, we would have had a much larger debris signature and much stronger velocities. And then also with that day 3, they have a marginal out here again over between Virginia, Maryland, Philadelphia, New Jersey, New York, and like highlighted like Western Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Vermont. I have like 9,000 tabs open again for more wind. Yeah, yeah, more wind, which is pretty. I mean, it's pretty typical for severe weather setups in June, July, even August too. And then once we get to like the winter month, and then we start seeing more setups where it's like what we see in spring. Kind of like spring, but different from spring because you have because in spring you have more level shear but lower instability numbers compared to summer and spring. Breesville, Georgia, do you think I'll even get rain? Because it looks like 10, 20, 10 to 30%. Uh, I might actually take a look down there. Because, I mean, with what I'm looking at on, like, the category and all that, there doesn't seem like there's a lot of, there's not really any storms or anything down there, it looks like, yet. I mean, there's a severe thunderstorm warning over here near Valdosta, but that's about it. And also, actually, a severe thunderstorm warning north of Atlanta, but that's pretty much all I can see in Georgia from what I'm looking at on weather-wise. I think we got another area over northeast of Dexter starting to ramp up potentially with rotation there. Still an area near Rochester. Rochester I'm still watching for too. They did okay, so they end up canceling out that tornado warning just south of that tornado warning, or did it expire out on its own? Sometimes I'm like, wait a minute, did that expire out or not expired out? Because it just disappears like Houdini. But I have 9,000 tabs open, bro. Last time I was like, I had like 500,000 tabs open, all weather related stuff. Yeah, it sounds about right when it comes to weather stuff. The highest risk I've ever been is a moderate, I think. That's to say, I can't remember what the highest like risk I was ever in. Wonder if I said, wonder if I don't know if I've been in anything high. I know I've been in moderate risk, but I don't know if I've been in anything higher than that. I might have to look. November. Apparently, the highest risk I've been in, because this is a really old outlook, by the way, too. It was a tornado outbreak November 17, 2013. Apparently, I've been in a high risk before, but I just don't remember that because I guess I just wasn't as aware of severe weather back then as I am now. Or I was aware of storms, but just something I just don't remember. Also, I do want to take a quick look at the cells over here. Which the cell that looks like it's rotating, it's starting to form a hook, is the one near Greenwood, which is the one that was merging together there earlier. I think it might have a bit of a merger again up here. But yeah, definitely gonna be watching this area here with rotation and potential for anything that might produce out of that. Last time I was in something worse than slight risk was March 16, 2025 enhanced risk. I mean 31st. For highest risk I was in at moderate, but originally if you're talking about when it was day 2 outlook, it would have been high if they didn't push high risk back. I see. Alright, and they did end up issuing a tornado warning for over here in Wisconsin. That's good for Greenwood, Hillsboro, Bone Walk, and Elroy and Hillsboro. This one definitely has, I would say, probably the one of the higher chances of at least trying to produce something since it's one discrete, but also the case that, I mean, you already have rotation that's trying to tighten up in there. And they did, I don't know I swear I saw this on. I don't know if they issued another tornado watch or what. Let's see. Hold on. No. They did issue a new mesoscale discussion, however. The Storm Prediction Center. Localized tornado threat continues, and you can see a lot of cloud cover. They saw the basically just this area here, where it's all just cumulus clouds back in this area here, which if these make their way more northeast and then become discrete cells, then those are gonna be the ones to, I mean, potentially end up being tornado warned later down the line, or at least have some type of tornado threat on them. How can you tell the difference between small hail and rain? Some of mine broke when they hit, and I can't figure it out. I mean, small hail. I mean, it's a lot more solid. All right, they did issue another severe warning down here too. It looks like with the tornado pause tag. There was an area here near Elkton that I was watching for. I was like, yeah, it looks like some broad rotation going on down there. Might be another area near Osage that could be rotating too. I wonder what the Twin Cities radar. Maybe a couple areas here that could be rotating. Maybe that there near Marion. They could have a couple areas that are rotating. Otherwise, on the lacrosse radar, it just looks outflowy and broad, or at least broad rotation. Although I will say too, because I don't know if I have a picture on my phone somewhere. I might, and it was back in March, and because you know how like when you have a bunch of hail, it can and it just covers the ground. I mean, it covers the ground. That's basically what the one of the pictures look like. So let me get one of those up. Let me do that. Let me just send the photo to my email and then download that question mark. Or is that gonna be, or is it not gonna send? I have no idea. Oh no, it did send. Okay, cool. There we go. Alright, so let me get that photo. Alright, so here is a photo from back in March. And let me zoom in a little bit. That is all hail. That is not grapple or anything. That is hail. It literally looks like Dippin' Dots. I said something in Discord, yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, 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 yeah. Let's just say, I should probably also send the Discord link as well in chat while I'm at it. There we go. So that's the link to the Discord, for those in chat. Definitely doesn't seem like to have as big of a hook as it was earlier, like especially at that frame there, but still gonna be watching that area though. So right now both two tornado warnings going on once again. Also, I was gonna say too, there is a weather photo text channel, by the way. So that's where you're gonna want to send anything weather related in there. And then there's also general weather, which is kind of I would say I mean not really used text channel, but it is a text channel for like discussing weather and whatnot. And then there's radar text channel, which is for radar screenshots and stuff like that. All right, we have this new severe warning on top of this. It looks like so that tornado warning looks like it's gonna be led to expire out. Still gonna be having the wind threat and then also the tornado threat alongside that as well. Join. I joined. Oh right. I was gonna say I see. I see. Why am I putting my face so close to my phone? Okay. I gotta really see. But yeah. Uh. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Also, alongside the eastern side of this line here, we got more cells that are starting to pop up as well. Although, I mean, I wouldn't say the tornado threat is completely zero, of course, because I mean the tornado threat's gonna be there. But eventually, those, I mean, they're gonna have a lower tornado threat, just mainly just because of the line of storms back here, and those are gonna merge together. Also, I don't know if I read SBC Centerville's message there. Bro, I remember a time I was in Pea-sized hail, left my school bus window open, and it came in. Thankfully, it didn't hit me. Still got three areas here. One near Osage, and then this one here, which this one would be a little bit more broad in terms of rotation, if that is rotating. But one area there, and then one area near Rochester. Again, that is trying to get act together there and wrap up a little bit more. So we might eventually see a extension on a tornado warning eventually if that does wrap up a bit more to what we're seeing right now. Also, I want to look at the storm ports too while we're at it. So yesterday there was over 400, over 400 and yeah, over 400, almost 450 wind reports from yesterday. A lot of those were from the East Coast, and then most of the tornado reports, of course, between Minnesota and also a couple in Wisconsin too. 50 hail reports, which a lot of those hail reports, of course, as well being on the East Coast, and then actually a majority of those being over in near the Rockies, state like Rocky states, like New Mexico, Colorado, Wyoming, Montana. We're gonna send the sounds of a few days ago. All right, sent to weather photos. All right, let me take a look here. Let's just say it sounded pretty stormy. I said I don't know if that was just the rain, but it sounded like there was hail. Oh Jesus. It was windy and rainy. I said I definitely hear the rain. Heard the wind a little bit. Actually, hold on, me random storm from a general risk. I swear, general thunderstorm risk sometimes be outperforming the main risk. Sometimes I swear. Like you could have like a marginal risk like far away, and all of a sudden there's like a tornado warning storm and the general thunderstorm risk, which actually did happen a couple of weeks back in Kentucky. Still got quite the outflow boundary on the near the storms over in Iowa. Still, those are still gonna be mainly wind. Trying to go to this radar here, radar mega. Looking at the latest scans too. Still watching this area right here. Also, still got more severe tornadoes starting to pop up over here too. Wind, wind, small hail, especially where statement more than likely for probably wind and pea-size hail. And then you got severe dust storming down here, which is for I think I'm trying to remember nickel-size hail there. Do you think the U.S. will get another high risk eventually this year? I mean, it's possible that the U.S. could get another high risk. Uh, Whether or not the SBC does issue that, and if the uh metals and environment line up to exactly being that, I mean, it would have to be that kind of situation at some point if it does happen again this year. But because I mean, we've already had two this year. I know. I think 2023 had like a double. Actually, where is the IM auto plotter? Hold on. Trying to remember. see. Convective Outlook calendar. I'm trying to look at like past. So there's 2 high risks this year. What about last year? Let me see. And then last year we had 1 high risk outlined, surprisingly. What if I could do multiple years spanning here? Yeah, we had 2 high risk, yeah. Because we had a high risk on March 16th, and then we had another high risk on April 2nd. How many tornadoes on April 2nd? I'm trying to remember how many tornadoes we had that day. But I know at least be spanning between April 2nd and then the 7th. Well, technically the 6th. There is so from the 2nd to the like 7th, because that goes to like basically the next day. There was, I think, well over at least 100 tornadoes, I think. Unless I'm thinking of the March 15th event. Trying to see if I can find how many tornadoes spawned on that on April 2nd. I'm trying to find information on that. I know there was a high amount of tornadoes that occurred on April 2nd, though. I know it was a high, I know it was a high amount for sure. Also, we no longer have the tornado warning over Minnesota. We only have the tornado warning ongoing in Wisconsin. Still have a CC drop on that, but I mean, still have an area that is still rotating over near Bone Walk. so, so I said that is yeah, that's one thing you hope you never get, especially if it's especially when it comes to, because I mean, when it comes to high risk, you're not gonna get a high risk for like wind or hail. When it comes to getting a high risk, you would have to have the tornado threat with it. There's so many. I've seen people that are like, there should be a high risk for wind, but I know the SPC, they just don't issue high risk for those. Although there could be cases though where that could have come in handy, especially for like days like what we saw in North Dakota the other day, where we had that Sting jet, which brought the 100-mile-per-hour winds. That definitely could have, I mean, verified that for sure. Although the ratio part was more or less expected compared to the MCV, and then the Sting jet coming in behind that. Also, they did update the slight risk a little bit. I mean, the tornado risk area hasn't changed too much, to be honest. I mean, it's only like maybe slightly different. I don't know if it's changed on here though. But this is what it would look like. This is what it looks like basically right now. There's also oh wait. Yeah, this is tornado warning right here. I was about to say, I thought there was like from yesterday, like how there's tornado warnings over in Canada. Because there was a couple up in Canada the other day. What did they change? With the outlook, not much. Let me actually get the. Hold on, let me do a little bit of comparison here. Trying to get a one image from the current and then one from earlier. If I can find it with scrolling like 100 million miles down to find it. So okay, they did expand it like a little bit, but it's still not really changed by much. All right, let me hold on. Let me drag this over to the. All right, so here is this is from earlier today. This is what it looked like. And then here's the current. They expanded the slight a little bit, but not by much. The general thunderstorm risk, I mean, it's only changed by a little bit as well. But yeah, the slight risk only gets like expanded by like a tiny bit. It's probably still for mainly wind and probably a hail threat too, but probably mainly wind if anything. I don't think the website's fully updated yet. One pixel update is one pixel. Pretty much, yeah. Alright, I do wonder. Actually, these storms might be trying to catch back up this outflow. And then this one up here might be hanging on to that outflow. Because now there's a tornado pause tag on it, which would be, there's some, might be a bit broad rotation just northeast of Ackley there. There's also severe dorsal warning all the way down here. I don't know what that was, but yeah. Alright, there's actually a wind report up here, actually. Reported on home anemometer. 55-mile-per-hour winds. Still watching these areas here and that area. I do wonder if that area that I was looking at near Osage, I mean, it's still rotating a little bit, but that's definitely broadened out as well. This is areas of just broad rotation embedded within the line for the most part. All right, they might extend the tornado warning for this. We'll see, because they still got a minute left on this tornado warning, which still, I mean, being there would be kind of a. I mean, it's a small area, but kind of big at the same time. Day 2 still isn't enhanced. I say day 2 would be up here. Actually, did they update day 2? I don't remember if I saw that or not. No, they updated day 3, but I don't know about day 2. Although I think day 2 only like has this weird zigzag on it. Not even like a zigzag. It's like a weird Z thunderbolt looking thing. I don't know. It's a thick thunderbolt. I don't know. And that is, I mean, they got a small 2% risk up here for tornadoes. And then there's your wind risk. And then there's your hail. That is quite the thing that the ARRR is showing for like tomorrow afternoon at 00Z, which is like 6-7 o'clock. But let me go over to that as well. So here is COD forecast model. This is on ARRR. So if we go through today, this is like 18Z going through today basically. We'll skip over to the Friday, which is tomorrow. We got a couple of showers and storms out there. But then if we go throughout the day, still got some scattered showers and storms out there. But then you start seeing in this little corridor right up here in the northwestern side of North and even South Dakota too. Although the South Dakota one looks like they kind of fizzle out after a while. That looks like, I mean, it's a street cell. That could be a mainly probably hail risk. Wouldn't be surprised if we had a wind risk or even a tornado risk out of that. And then we go through the day and start seeing more cells pop up in the ARRR, which then that looks like it turns to like an MCS, which then we would see a wind and tornado risk out of that. And that goes into Minnesota and then down northeast towards Illinois. Where would you draw? Where would you add the enhance if you're a person who draws the risk? Well, if we were basing it on the ARRR with the convective, then probably probably somewhere up here, probably with the wind, probably basing it. But once again, basing it off what the ARRR is showing. I'm kind of curious what the GFS is showing for the. Well, it's still on the 12Z run apparently coming on in, so I'm gonna have to look at the. See here, try to pick out a sounding. I do want to take a look at the soundings on the GFS. Also, we no longer have a tornado warning in place, by the way, so I just gotta turn that off. Now, let's see. All right, so take a look at a couple of soundings on the GFS. So I just picked out. Let's see, got a couple knots. Got some strong winds out over here. Wonder what the soundings look like out here. You got definitely dry out here. Definitely some warm temperatures. So this is probably like behind a dry line. But if we go over here, so what we got, and that's still behind a dry line too. So we may have a dry line set up back over here. It's taking a while to load. There we go. So there we go. That's so it was right here between the North and South Dakota border with that sounding right in there. If we take a look at the sounding, and yeah, we got 80, 65. So I mean, definitely. I mean, a little bit of like an inverted V. Might be a little bit warm right there, but seems like storms might not struggle too much. What I'm seeing from the soundings. Although I'm kind of curious what some of these areas are looking like, and some of these like more like here and here. Got another almost like inverted V, basically. Surface, mixed layer. I mean, looking at the soundings from GFS, there's not a ton of shear that this is picking up on, even at the surface. No idea how soundings work, what it means. I just see squiggle lines. Guys gotta learn. That's to say that I'm even still learning myself too with soundings, but I'm still picking up things here and there with looking at basically Convective Chronicles, who has pretty good videos on how to exactly understand how to kind of read a photograph and whatnot. Dude, it made how to read radar video so cool. I remember watching that. I'm like, yeah, I might as well check this video out. See what. Cause I always like watching videos on like stuff like radar and whatnot. I've even been, I say, even recently too, because I've been watching kind of like documentary style like tornado videos too. Apparently the NAM model too sounds like it's gonna be gone next year too. I don't remember what specifically is supposed to be replacing the NAM. I know there's the RFS. That's like a second version of the ARRR. Also looks like this got updated to now, instead of the 60 I was at, it is now up to 70. Oh, I saw a thing. So, public information statement from the National Service headquarters in Silver Spring, Maryland. Let's see. So, basically, the looking at this, it looks like the RRFS, which is also set to, which is set to replace the NAM. Also, there's a RRFS ensemble forecast as well. That's supposed to replace the HREF and NAIR systems as well. So we got some. So we got some new models coming through here. Even ensemble models. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. Because I know I know people say what they say about the RRFS, but it's done decent with certain events. I think April 2nd, I think, was one of them. I think enjoyed that week or two of break of no severe weather. Yeah, I was gonna say it's always so weird when, especially this year, because I mean, other than spring and winter, but with this year, it's been so like going into summer, it's been like on and off severe weather almost. But that is one thing about having the cases where we have either an El Nino or La Nina or a neutral, which neutrals, I mean, you can still get severe outbreaks and whatnot, but it's nothing like what you see sometimes between what we typically see with once again La Nina or El Nino that can influence severe weather, even hurricane season 2. Sorry, 5 p.m. It's I mean it's almost 5 p.m. Eastern, almost 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern, almost got another half hour, but yeah, at time is flying. His favorite music genre? Well, I was gonna say because I've been like listening to a lot. I listen to a lot of like rock and heavy metal for the most part, and then I used to listen to last year, and then I think even a couple of years before that too, listening to like old school rap music, but that's all like the old school rock and heavy metal type of music too, or at least like early 2000, even early 2000s rock and heavy metal as well, or somewhere around there. But a lot of the music being from like 70s, 80s as well, for the most part, with the rock and heavy metal. Also, there is some development going on over in the Eastern Pacific with the Invest 95E over in Eastern Pacific area. 50% chance development within the next 2 days, and 8% chance of a development within the next week, basically. We also do have, as I was scrolling out too, we do have a flash flood emergency ongoing over here in New Mexico as well. It looks like. I don't know how long ago that was issued. Hold on, let me see. That was issued over 21 minutes ago. We have a flash flood emergency ongoing over here in New Mexico between Ruducio, Hondo, Picasso, double crossing all the way up to Bonito and Angus. And then here's the area that I was talking about earlier with the tropical development area with the Invest 95E. Right now, like Drake, I know his music. He's done some stuff. Whoa, what is the flash flood threat for Georgia? I was gonna say, let's take a look. Let's actually take a look at the hydrological outlooks while we're at it, because that's one of the things when it comes to looking at areas for like a flash flood type of threat, basically. And there's a marginal risk, but I mean it's pretty low when it comes to a flash flood threat over here for the most part. And there's a higher flash flood threat up here. I'm kind of curious. There are actually a couple cyclone ports up here. Down here. Up, down, down, up, all around. I don't know. I don't know what direction that is there, but it is definitely sunny over there, that's for sure. This the mesoscale discussion notification I just saw from your favorite band. Um, probably, what a lot of people listen to, but I mean, I've been listening to Metallica when it comes to like rock heavy metal type of stuff, and then also Pantera as well, and ACDC. Jesus, I just describe myself as the probably the most generic. I just described the most generic music I could probably listen to, probably. In your guys' opinion, if that is your opinion, I don't know anymore, man. I just like heavy rock metal music, man. I don't even know, but I'm just kidding. What I'm saying, it's good music. I don't know. All right, new mesoscale discussion. We'll go over to that in a second here. All right, so here's a new mesoscale discussion. The tornado threat is much lower than what they had at earlier with the tornado peak intensity. Mainly it looks to be just mainly wind threat for the most part through this evening, afternoon into this evening. With the southern side of this, I would not be surprised though if this northern side of this is also becoming mainly wind threat for right now until probably later this evening. I respect that opinion. My dad used to be a heavy metal rock drummer. He actually met Eminem, a friend, and 50 Cent. That's pretty cool, actually. Let me just see. those are definitely vultures on that camera. Now, let me show you guys this real quick. So you got, I'm pretty sure those are vultures. I'm pretty sure because you got the black feathers and then you got the red head. Now, this is one camera over near Blue Mountain Kern camera over here. Blue Mountain Kern. See the birds. I don't know what camera that is, if they're still there or not. I don't think they are. Because this would be the camera that they would have been on. 12 hours, an hour, 3 hours maybe? How long ago was this post? Not even that long ago. What time was it then? What the? Earlier this morning, apparently. Would have been there. Yeah. Are you under any risk? I am under a marginal. Although, I mean, it's a low end severe threat. Haven't really seen, I mean, other than maybe a couple severe thunderstorm warnings near over, like, back over, like, this way. Like, so you got your lake breeze, and then there was, like, severe thunderstorm warnings out towards here. And that's about what I've seen the past couple days. Haven't seen too much severe weather around here so far as of yet. I'm just waiting for the one day, because last year I got a bunch of videos that were like, just boom, lightning, and this year I haven't seen too much of that with, like, the nocturnal threat. A lot of the severe threat has been mainly daytime hours for the most part. Like, I think this year I've had more snow videos than I do with lightning videos. Oh yeah, and one dust storm as well. I'm gonna be right back real quick. Let me just get GR2 up because that is what I use for the be right back screen radar compared to Radar Omega. Alright, I'll be right back. All right, I am back. Can't wait for fall. Fall's the best season. Yeah, I would like fall, but see the problem is I have my allergies get bad in fall, so fall does not get in does not because the fall is not my favorite season. I don't even know what my favorite season is, to be honest. If I even have one, might be spring. I don't know. Could be. I know winter is kind of a hot take, but that's what winter is when I'm done with the summer heat completely. To be honest. Yeah, I have pretty bad allergies during fall. It's like, oh my god. It's always because of the leaves when they kind of die out basically. When that usually happens. Also, apparently, someone posted a Chris Borrell's discussion on the May 16th day one, and looks like that day looks like apparently it could have gone higher risk, but looks like it didn't want to take the chance of a false alarm for a high risk that day. It looks like, which may definitely that day definitely could have gone high, May 16th, but honestly, the moderate with the 15 uh tornado risk probably was perfectly fine where it was at. I don't remember the specific. Where is the National Service for Weather Outlook? I'll look at the archive here. Um, so 5/16. That is not what I want to do. Let's see if I figure out verification. So day one verification there. Yeah, there we go. There's the day one verification for that. Actually, what I can do May 15th, May 16th, May 17th here. Let's see. All right, so where is it? There. So for May 16th, take a look at the verification for that day. So this is what the like pre outlook and prelim reports valid 20 UTC to 12 UTC from basically the 16th to the 17th, and yeah, a lot of tornado reports occurred right inside that moderate, basically, even the wind reports too and hail. Um, that I mean, with what we saw with the tornadoes on that day, we definitely. I mean, I don't remember how many were inside that moderate, but I know we had a lot. Too hot, man. I hate to eat. To be honest, that is for real. Especially what it's like right now. Which let me check. Apparently, weather station got up to 95.4 degrees at one point. What time was that? That must have been like over a half hour ago. Holy, that almost like beat the heat record, like temperature record high that I have on my thing for this year. Because the record I got on my weather station was 95.5 and was just a couple degrees, like point 2 degrees away from beating that, basically. Either way, it's hot. Feels like 103.7. What is going on with the scroll here? Like having a Red Bull moment over here. Oh. And looks like Connor Croft and also Stormrunner Media are both going towards the line over here. Try to guess the temp for me. I don't know. What's maybe over 90, maybe like 100 degrees, somewhere around there. Actually, I could let, I said, wanted to actually take a look at some of the temperatures around here. Some of these places. Got 92 there. Got 93 over near Lexington, Kentucky. Actually 70s, but that's where you have the more higher elevation areas there. 99! Holy! Yeah, that just a tiny bit hot, just a tiny, just slightly, totally not like you absolutely just like completely, literally quite melt in this heat or anything, totally. Oh my god, dude. Also, I don't think I've ever seen this. Oh wait, I really have. Maybe I have seen this cyclone port before. It's been a while since I've seen that there. And then there's just a bunch of cyclone ports over near Atlanta. I wish there was cyclone ports over in Florida. Would be actually nice to have a couple cyclone ports down there because of hurricane season. I know during hurricane season, Vince Walty goes down there and puts up a bunch of basically what's called Project Mesovorts, which are like basically cameras that get hung up and kind of see like what's going on from those cameras, especially with hurricanes. No, it's 80. Missed the snow I got. I was gonna say, because I know you guys down there don't get snow too often. Uh, last year was or was it last year or was this early this year? I think it was earlier this year, I think, right? I know there's one snowstorm that brought snow down there. And Louisiana over here and Lake Charles area and all that got a blizzard warning at one point. The first one they ever got, February 25, 2025. Let's see. Hello, welcome. Hurricane season, yes, hurricane season is happening indeed. We just had, I said a couple weeks back, a couple days back, we had Andrea for a short time, and then that fizzled out, or well, became tropical, post-tropical, and then went out towards the northeast. I don't remember exactly where it was, but I know it was in here somewhere. And then boom, went off the colder waters, and then you have another area that is developing over here in the eastern Pacific again here, which we also had one major hurricane already this year, at least on the Pacific side of things with Hurricane Eric. So yeah, the Eastern Pacific is still busy. Yeah, I have a feeling that the Eastern Pacific is gonna be busy for a while, and the Atlantic's probably gonna be not super active for probably a while as well. So I am kind of curious. I forgot what site it was with the spaghetti models. I need to get one thing I need to do too before uh the hurricane season really starts to kick off in Atlantic. I need to get all my websites in order for hurricane season. There is a big old blob of convection though. Um over in the Caribbean. Which let me go to the satellite while we're at it. Where is the there we go. So there's the big blob of convection, which I mean it's been kinda sitting there, but seems like the National Hurricane Center really isn't expecting too much of anything to develop out of that. And even if anything did develop out of that, it probably because I mean we got I think we have I mean we got the trough one trough, one or two troughs, I think. Let me check. Yeah, we got like a low right above that, I think. Mexico can't catch a break. That is for sure. Next name in East Pacific is Flossie. That is, I always, when I read that name, I'm like, well, that is quite the name. If I'm even reading that name right, I might. And then Gil. I said, I am gonna, no, let's actually take a look at the, Sphere and Valdosta got extended. Actually, take a look at that. Yeah, that definitely got extended, alright, Jesus. Quarter size hail, 60 mile per hour winds, going for an hour and 30. Also, I just realized too, got one outflow right here, and then we got another one right here. That is quite cool. And then we got another one down here too from these storms here. Not quite a severe thunderstorm. I had a normal one. I was just say, well, it looks like one's gonna be wind and hail, and then one's gonna be probably, I don't know if there's any lightning or thunder with it, but maybe some wind. Next name in Atlantic is Barry. I was gonna say yeah, cause that's the I was gonna say yeah, cause that's the next name since that replaced Barrel as well. Let's actually let's take a look at the names real quick. And even the Central North Pacific has its own like names too, but yeah. Yeah. All right, so here's the 2025 to 2030 Atlantic names. So there's Barry, and then we have Shatnell, Dexter, Aaron, Ferdinand, Gabrielle, Humberto, Imelda, Jerry, Karen, Hurricane Karen. I could already see the memes that are gonna be made about that one. Lorenzo, Melissa, Nestor, Olga, Pablo, Rebecca, Sebastian, Tanya, Van, Wendy, and then 2026 we got Arthur, Bertha, Cristobal, Dolly, Gordo, Faye, Gonzalo, Hannah, Zayas, Josephine, Kyle, Leia, Marco, Nana, Omar, Paulette, Green, Sally, Teddy, Vicky, Wilfred. If I die to a hurricane, I don't want to die to a name like Hurricane Ted. Alrighty. And then here's the Eastern North Pacific hurricanes. Alvin we already had. We've already had like one, two, three, four, like 5 different hurricanes already. Well, I think there was a couple that were tropical storms, but we already had I guess 5 different tropical storms. A couple of them I think went hurricane, or at least one of them did. One or two of them did. Then we have Flossie, Gil, Henriette, Ivo, Juliet, Zelda, Hurricane Zelda. And apparently they have Hurricane Zelda again, 2027 apparently, and also 2029. So basically they repeat the names of Z every year apparently. 2025 Zelda, 2026 Zeke, Zelda again, Zeke, Zelda's Zeke. Same thing with Yolanda and York apparently. But my guess is some of these the hurricanes in the Pacific haven't gotten to that point, probably is my guess. I'm not 100% sure. When Barry forms, he might become a hurricane. I don't know. We'll see what happens in the future if that becomes the case. Well, when Tropical Storm Barry arrives, we'll do a live stream about him. Let's just say, because if it's because I mean, I'm always gotta do coverage on when it comes with the Atlantic. When you have tropical storm stuff, if they're going right towards mainland U.S. and it's gonna be a concern for mainland U.S., then I always go live for those. But if it's gonna be a fish storm, then I probably might mention it during like a stream, and then that'll be about it. I think we might have a little area rotation over near Cresco, I think, over in Iowa. Yeah, we'll see what happens in the future when it comes to hurricanes and tropical storms. Whether we'll see what happens with whatever hurricane occurs and see which one ends up becoming a hurricane, and then also how much of if they're either gonna be a fish storm depending on where they form, or if they're gonna be going towards the U.S., which typically at this time of year between June and July, they're typically gotta be. I mean, Beryl was, I think, an exception because I know Beryl formed out in main development region, but typically with June and July, you have your tropical developments in like the Caribbean and Gulf of Mexico. Max Lice said tornadoes likely. Hope there isn't any tornadoes. Stay safe, y'all. Yeah, tornadoes would tornadoes would definitely be still likely through today for sure. There's a couple areas I'm watching for down here. Hurricanes more stronger than tornadoes. I mean, generally they can be. Considering that hurricanes and tropical storms have much bigger wind fields, and then those wind fields can cause a lot of damage, like a tornado. But winds in tropical storms and hurricanes are a lot longer lived compared to tornadoes. I mean, obviously, you can have long track tornadoes, which have strong winds and whatnot, but hurricanes stronger because they do more widespread damage, but a tornado can do way more damage in a controlled point. Yeah, pretty much actually. Yeah, pretty much. Because tornadoes are like in more of like a focused area compared to a widespread area. I mean, you can still have like widespread damage from a tornado, but once again, wind fields from a hurricane or tropical storm is gonna be a lot bigger typically. Honestly, I say honestly, it really all depends on. We could have. For velocities, you can have what looks to be like EF5 velocities, but I mean, I'll just leave. I've got to leave that to the people that are doing the storm surveys. To be honest. Because in order for a tornado to get the rated that high, it would have to do the damage to get rated that. Although there have been there's been cases in the past where there's definitely a couple tornadoes that could have been rated that for sure, but yeah, it just really depends on what the National Service offices do with their storm damage surveys. So I'm not really gonna give it a time frame, to be honest. Roswell, Georgia sphere will expire in 6 minutes. We also got the severe dust warning up here too. That's about expire out with the next 5 minutes as well. We got both of those are expire out with the next few minutes here. Even this one down here. Yeah, we got a couple of them that are expire out with the next 5 minutes. How many are we at right now in terms of severe dust warnings? 20, and a bunch of those are got to expire out with the next 5 minutes. So we'd be down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 8 of those are box barrel with the next 5 minutes. What area has the strongest rotation right now? Let me see. I mean, it's not really an area I would say that has strong rotation, to be honest. They're all kind of broad. I mean, maybe this area here, maybe, but both these areas, I mean, they're pretty broad. This one's much more broad, so maybe this one here is the more, at least a little bit stronger in terms of rotation, but yeah, once again, it's just very broad areas of rotation that are not very tight or strong. Apparently, oh my god, what am I looking at right now? What am I looking at right now? This is, like, I don't know what SR 400, US 19, south at North Ridge Road. What is going on here? We got people parking under underpasses. All right, maybe have a tornado warning again. We also have a tornado warning again. That's back over in Iowa. I didn't realize there was an area over here rotating. That is gonna be for. Do I have the tornado warning on? I do. Okay. It's gonna be for Kanawha, Goodell, Clemmy, and Garner in Iowa. So if you know those areas, make sure you're getting safe place as you're not any tornado warning at this time. So back up to having one tornado warning going. That's outside of the severe dark storm watch as well. I just realized. Who's your favorite YouTube meteorologist? Mine is FNR Max. Sometimes I watch Ryan if he's in my area, but one of my favorites. Um, I mean, to be honest, I'm gonna say Max Velocity because he's kind of the first. He's like one of the first people that I watched when it comes to like YouTube meteorologists. I have watched Ryan Hall a couple times as well, but I kind of switch between the two depending on if I'm not like doing anything. Also, the area rotation, which let me go back a little bit here, which would be right in there. That's going northeast there. That could be with a trajectory. That could be going right towards places such as Red, Norris Springs, and Rockford. This is going right near the area of Clear Lake, which there's a person in here earlier from Clear that was near or in Clear Lake, Iowa, that was asking is Clear Lake safe. But I don't know if they're gonna rejoin the stream at some point. But if they do, well, we are gonna welcome them back with housewarming gift. I don't know. Give them information, make sure they're in a safe place and whatnot. By the way, y'all can't speak English. By the way, the y'all bot is real. It roasts me for asking for my area before I got a tornado warning. Yeah, yes, the y'all bot. Yeah, that's quite the irony too. I will say about that as well, where you're asking about your area and all of a sudden, and then the bot roasts you, and then the tornado warning. Oh, I got hiccups. All right, no longer have the tornado warning. Severe dark storm warning up here. Mainly right now it looks like straight line winds for the most part. Coming out of this, we also do have an outflow boundary shooting out of this area here. Texas is cheering because I don't think they got risk in a while. I was just say because the last time they were in a severe risk, I think might have been, at least from what I can remember. Let me see. Because I can literally go to my streams and see who was under like what. About a week ago, because Northern Texas. I mean, there was a bit of it that was under a slight risk, but the other bit of it was like in a marginal. And I don't know. I don't know about after that though. if they're under any other severe thunderstorm warnings at that. Or severe thunderstorm warnings? Severe thunderstorm weather outlooks and stuff like that, like Marshall or like slight. Although I will say with Texas, they've definitely got a lot of rain over the past couple weeks for sure. What does the drought map look like, anyways? Let me see. I know there's a portion of like, I mean, there's actually well, at least with the Panhandle and northern Texas, definitely has gotten a lot of rain. The rest of the state though, not as much. We do have a new severe dust warning just to the east of this now. It's gonna be for 60-mile-per-hour winds. And also penny-sized hail possible out of that as well. All right. Also, here's the drought monitor, which I just realized I could actually pull up on Radar Omega as well. But I want to pull up the like actual site because that way the radar and stuff is not blocking all of it. So here's what it looks like on the drought monitor site, and I don't think I've ever seen this area here not under a drought. This area is not as much of a drought, but this area I don't think I've ever seen not in a drought before. Everywhere else though, not so much in a drought. Down here, I feel like it's bounced back like multiple times with having a drought and not having a drought. And then surprisingly there's a drought in Nebraska, but and there's surprisingly not a drought up here. Or yeah. But then again, there has been cases where we've been having quite a bit of severe weather in that corridor. So, is there a portion that's always been extreme drought in Texas? Same thing we're talking about. Yeah, basically, yeah, yeah. I don't think I've ever seen that specific area not under a drought. Might be a little bit out of range with this tornado warned area. When it comes to looking at velocities on this. Is Ryan Stream using AI thumb? I have no idea. I did. Let me actually. So that storm image, I have no idea. The rest of it probably was just drawn in. Like, well, the severe weather outlook was drawn in, but the storm image is, I have no idea. That is what that is my thoughts on that. I have no idea. Because with my thumbnails, specific, because I just take the SPC outlook, and then Yeah, basically take the SBC outlook and then at the bottom right put the the highest what the highest risk of the day is basically, or what the highest risk is on the thumbnail is basically, something like that. That's kind of how I do my thumbnails, I guess. I don't know if anybody else does that. Because I mean, it's just kind of how YouTube is. I don't know. I don't know. Just yeah. All right. So with the tornado warning, we got 37 minutes, about 40 minutes left on tornado warning. And I just saw a tweet from National Service Pittsburgh, and there's a severe thunderstorm warning over in what county is that? I don't think they have the county, but it is covering the Pittsburgh area. That's mainly for wind, 60-mile-per-hour winds. Actually, now that I think about it, with the SBC outlook, I think it's Riley Dibble, if I remember correctly, that's his name. Who uses like the SBC outlook for his thumbnails? Actually, now that I think of it. Hello, welcome to the stream. Dibble, Oklahoma. So let me just take a look at that on weatherwise real quick, and so just looking at, I said, looking at the, well, I guess we'll actually take a quick look at the area over here in Oklahoma in general, I guess. But just looking at some of the severe thunderstorm warnings down here, it just mainly looks like, I mean, it's just mainly wind and hail threat down here. Not really any tornado threat. Definitely quite a bit of lightning within the past 15 minutes with a lot of these areas, though, that's for sure. I can imagine it's quite the, if it was nighttime, it'd be quite the light show, but I mean, either way, that's still quite a bit of lightning, either way. Yeah, Oklahoma is mainly just wind and hail. Over here. Let me actually search up Dibble, Oklahoma on here, just give kind of an idea where the storms are at. It seems like some storms are like fizzling out as they get to northeast as well, but once again, if you get any storms, it's just mainly gonna be wind and maybe some small hail. That's about it. Yeah, no problem. They even know it's bad in Oklahoma. I was gonna say, there was some. They did have a MCD out here earlier. Let me see where. I think it was. Well, they had one out here earlier, but it was like a really low chance for a severe Darsum watch. 120Z. Yeah, almost mixed up the letters there. My WR120EZ is here. The radio. Once again, the radio collection is increasing. The radio collection must increase until morale improves. 5 radios. Gotta go mow some yards for more money for more radios. Well, that's one way to do it. Help some people out with the lawn, like their lawns, get some money, buy some more radios, and then there you go. Collection increases. Eventually, collection increases over time. Power went out, back now. Oh, you got power outage over there. I'm good. Speaking of power outage, I am kind of curious what the power outage on here looks like. We got Barron County, 548 people out there. Got 297 in Cook County, Brooks County, 506. Over here in Columbia County in Florida, 774. Gulf County, almost basically 2,000 people there. Wait a minute, weatherman, where I think he mentioned Georgia, I think, if I remember correctly. And I got 6,000 people over here in Hall County without power. Lumpkin County, almost 800. Almost 1,500 people without power in Dawson County. You got almost 2,000 people without power in Pickens. And then Fairfield, you got almost 400 people without power there. Yep, people without power here in Pulaski County, Indiana. I don't know if we have any power outages here in Minnesota or anything. We do, actually. Fillmore County, 141 people without power there. We actually got some people without power down here in Oklahoma, actually. Kingfisher, 215. Caddo, 930. And Hardeman County in Texas, 349, almost 350. Yeah, a couple few power outages over here in Mississippi. Almost 100 on that one there, Jefferson County. Not almost same thing with Quitman County. Tallahatchie, almost 600 as well. Almost 1,000 Weecha County, Arkansas. Alright, so got about half hour left in this tornado warning. We'll see, because we're kind of out of range with the area rotations. We're kind of having this rangeful issue here. But if this moves up a little bit more towards the northeast, we might get a little bit better review, but not by much. my power goes out from a far of thunder from a light rainstorm. Mine goes out from a strong thunderstorm or huge lightning strikes. I'm trying to, try to remember, because I know my power has gone out maybe a few times before, where I'm at. One time was during like a storm and lightning struck a electric pole, like wood electric pole. Like it literally hit the pole, snapped it. The the pole literally fell, and then power went out. So got an area near Harmony that still looks like it's because that is one area that I was looking at earlier that looked like it had a rotation near Lime Springs earlier, but then it broadened out, and it looks like we have another area that is rotating again, but velocities, I mean, not showing super strong. Although, how far behind is velocities right now? Oh my god, velocities are so far behind. No wonder. About to eat dinner because in Kentucky we eat at 5 p.m. Eastern. So it's almost like 5 p.m. Central. Also looking at weather-wise on the area that I was looking at here. Alright, Radar Omega finally updated, but it's 2 minutes behind what weather-wise is showing, but there is still a rotation, it looks like, in that little area right over near Harmony. Right in there. I got a special weather statement right here, it looks like. 50-mile-per-hour wind gust. 5:37 p.m. in Georgia. I was gonna say too. I do want to point out. When I do stream, and I go to like the Eastern time zone, I can switch over to clock like that. I said, or is this working or not? Wait, it's not working. Hold on. I need to fix a couple of sources on the Stream Deck software real quick. Give me like 2 seconds. Why is that the? I just realized something. Hold on 1 second. That's CDT. Wait, do I have I don't know why that's being weird. There we go. Fixed it. That's another fix I apparently didn't do with my clock. So that's Eastern time, and then that's Central time. There we go. EST, not EDT. Hold on 1 second. Eastern I say EST is Eastern Standard Time, and then EST is Eastern Standard Time, and then EDT is Eastern Daylight Time, which daylight time is used during spring and summer, and then EST is used during fall and winter. So that's the difference between the two, basically. Alright, and I also gotta eat dinner, so I'll be right back. I'll leave the BRB screen up. Alright, I will be right back. All right, I'm back. And I know I mentioned in chat, but we no longer have a tornado warning in place. So I'll be paying attention to some of the more discreet cells out here, but most of these cells out here are, I mean, we could have a, actually, hold on, let me look at the, I mean, we still got 5% tornado risk out here, but for most part, I think that tornado threat has gone down by quite a bit. Although I would not rule out maybe a couple brief tornadoes here and there. Are you watching the stream while you eat, or are you in the kitchen with your phone while watching your stream? Um, well, I have I have the chat up on my phone while I'm at the dinner table, so I can see what's going on in chat. I said if I was trying to hold on, where's my my laptop's right here. Because if I was trying, imagine if I was trying to lug around, trying to lug around. Oh, imagine if I was trying to lug around this thing to the dinner table. My laptop. Gotta lug around that. Also, I gotta figure out a way to because I have I know some of you. Well, I know you partially saw the video, but I don't know how many others here saw the video. But with my setup tour, but I have this lightning, this is thunderbolt and cloud LED thing on my wall. I want to make like a way, because I mean it's USB, but I want to make it a way where I can have this turn on in my room when I turn on my lights, because I think that'd be pretty cool. Although there is actually a hold on, I don't know how much this is gonna be able to stretch down, but I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but this like kind of like a foggy like plastic type of looking thing. I could put batteries in there and it'll turn on. I might put batteries in there, but we'll see what I do with that. That might be better than me trying to plug it in through a USB. I'm not 100% sure. Also, I don't know how many storm chasers are now starting to wrap up their streams. Let me see. Wonder if Vince Walty's still alive. Just got done mowing 2 yards. Nice. Oh, we actually have a trail port right here, actually. Delayed report, time estimated from radar. Train spotter. And that was in the area where we got that tornado warning, too. $45. Insert the cash cha-ching sound from the register. Also, we have quite the outflow boundary right here, going towards Tallahassee. That's warned for 60-mile-per-hour winds as well, which all that strong winds are coming out of that outflow as well. All right, they did issue a new mesoscale discussion. It is red, which red is typically a tornado watch. Merging sea breeze boundary, and then you got your warm front, cold front type of boundary right here. They still have the tornado threat and wind threat. They might issue another downstream tornado watch. We'll see. But that is I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens if they do end up issuing that watch, I guess. Almost enough. Almost enough money. Brothers WR100 just arrived. Nice. Nice. That's gonna be the signature saying for cool stuff, I guess. I don't know. Nice. So do we have the? I think we saw the flash flood emergency still going on down here too. Yeah. All right. So with the MCD dice show too, we'll probably watch all this activity for probably next probably with the next hour, I guess. And if depending on what happens, could end the stream for this afternoon or evening. We'll see. Because if we do have a continued tornado threat, some of these cells would have to mature a little bit more than what they're doing right now. I mean, there's a bunch of scattered storms and stuff popping up, but a lot of them have like not really. I mean, other than a few that are kind of sustaining themselves, but I haven't really seen too many that have sustained themselves long term and formed like a rotation on them so far. But we'll see what happens within the next hour or so. See if anything does end up changing. Alright, going. Okay, going to mow one last yard. Alrighty. Gonna have dinner soon. I was to say, what are you having for dinner there? Sun is baking me right now. I was to say, I can imagine with all. I mean, it's even hot up here, but I can imagine it's definitely basically being in a let's say boiler room, but I don't know. Now is here there's some watch. Let's just say what I said I mean there's the I said say Severe Darts watch. I mean there was a Severe Darts warning over here that was issued as well at the same time. If that's the case. That watch close to Lexington. I was just say because I said unless I don't know. There's because there's obviously Severe Darts watch over in Iowa and Missouri, and then you got the one on the East Coast over here between Virginia, Maryland, and all that over here. Check the storm near me. I was to say where is the where would that be? Question mark. Yeah, quite the outflow boundary. I just realized right here. That just Gainesville, Virginia. All right, let's I can search up that. There we go. All right, so there's the severe storm watch right there. There's a couple of looking at radar. That is some slow storms. That just shut out outflow there. Yeah, it's just seems to be mainly scattered showers and storms for the most part. Looks like moving very slow. Got something in my tooth. I. Why does it feel like I? I have a heavy thunderstorm on Monday too. I was gonna say, got always great to have some rain. Apparently, a drought right along here apparently, and then also right here. That is that's interesting. How those areas that have droughts, and then the rest of it doesn't. It's not really in a drought. Looks like because this is the drought matter from today too, which is interesting. I am kind of curious. Where is the? How big is a storm near me? Let me search up Gainesville again here. If it's not gonna break, that is. So there's Gainesville. I mean, doesn't seem to be. I mean, do this. Use this tool. It's not super big with any of these, to be honest. They're all like little spots. Although you might feel this outflow coming down that way, though. Might feel that with the wind out of some gusty winds out of that outflow, probably. But yeah, not really anything too big in terms of storms. There's warning. Oh wait, yeah, there's a severe dust warning over here in Lexington too. Yeah, 60 mile per hour winds and also around penny size hail. This could be going for about 4 minutes as well. How long ago those popped up? Looks like over maybe about an hour-ish ago, including the one that popped over Nicholasville as well. My 120 TSP just said that. Like she. And Vince Faulty is shutting down his stream, it looks like. I don't know who else. We got Aiden O. Been streaming for about over an hour. Ow, my eye just like my eye just randomly started burning for a second from having it like, or was I don't even think it was a burn. I don't even know what that was. Take the photo and whether photos Discord clouds are dark. Let me see. Yeah, that look, yeah, that I mean, obviously that radar shows us a rating, but like, yeah, it's definitely raining. That's for sure. So I will say, definitely not as much activity when it comes to like photos today on Twitter from storm chasers compared to yesterday. Oh, I just hit the back of my heel. I need to find a way to have a better place for this table that I have over here, and I'm getting completely covered by the graphic. Oh, why do I keep hitting my foot and stuff? What is wrong with me? All right, hold on. Uh, there we go. I am now a chair. Eh. Oh, back's killing me when I'm doing that. Or just hit loudly. Kaboom! And I'm back when you're done streaming. I call you in Discord because I'm going home to my parents' house. And I'll follow you on WX Social. I keep forgetting that. Keep forgetting that I have WX Social. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. After stream, probably call for a bit, and then I go do whatever I'm gonna go do. I guess if I even do anything, I don't even know. Wind's gonna hit us at 50 mile per hour winds. I actually do want to check WX Social. Why not? See what we got going on there. I don't think that because I know there's maybe like a couple people that actually send anything on there. Although there's some people like, there's some newer people that I see sometimes on there. Someone posted yesterday apparently there was a tropical storm over near China. Apparently, probably sleep because we might have another hour long call because we have the most weirdest calls. No, really. Like it's like memes half like random memes half the time. I don't know. Uh, bro, five voice cracks you say in previous chat. Alexis stuff I said five, not I5. But a special weather statement. I was gonna say that special weather statement as well is for, yeah, it's for 50-mile-per-hour winds as well. Just slightly windy. Hey man, I'm going to hop off stream for two. We just had a wall tornado. Mega. All right. I don't even think I've read the SPCA Centerville's message fully. I'm gonna go to hop up stream for 2 seconds because I'm gonna make another group chat at a time instead of my friend go to add party cheese. Yar. Yeah, a couple of severe dose warnings now. Well, this what severe dose warnings, special weather statements, 50 mile per hour winds. This one's starting to bolt out a little bit as well, but honestly, I think that should just stay mainly a wind threat out of that. Radio just went off. I said, what did it go? What the So what did I said? What did it go off for in specific? Like, my son, I don't know what it is, but I went on a run yesterday and today, like different sides of my like waist and I have been like so like cramped up or what. I think I probably because I just drink a little bit more water, but yeah, I haven't drink. I have not. I just realized I have not drank a single like bottle of water the entirety of the stream. I don't know if I did either yesterday. I just realized. Apparently, there's a tornado warning. Is that over in Canada? It is. That is smooth. Not only like I don't know. I still don't understand why they have smoothing, but I don't know if that's because of their radar. But that looks like absolute just contamination on that. What am I looking at right now? Near Ojima? The tornado would be right in there then. That is okay. How is the CC the only thing that doesn't look terrible? All right. Well, I'm end off my stream for today, I guess. Um, haven't really seen too much uptick in terms of tornado activity. Have seen, I mean, obviously the sphere tornado warnings going on, but most of those have been mainly just wind threat. Maybe some small hail alongside them, but yeah, just mainly wind threat out of most of them. So yeah, I might be live streaming. We'll see what happens. I know. Well, I mean, there's a low tornado threat tomorrow. If there was a 5%, might be up here, but if anything, should stay mainly wind and hail, just like today. Although today's hail threat wasn't super high though, so maybe not like today, more like tomorrow, I guess. But yeah. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next stream I do, whenever that'll be. And yeah, I am out.